and welcome in. My name is Karen. This is Lost Souls Tarot. This is my second attempt at this because my German Shepherd Luna, who is downstairs, started barking incessantly for 5 minutes and I had to abandon the last one. So hopefully she'll stay quiet this time. My sage is kind of burnt out and there's ash everywhere now, but let's not worry about that. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing and returning. If you're new here, I think I can still say, well, certainly here in Scotland, it is very cold today and very rainy, or showery actually. This rain has just stopped. It was a really dark shower a minute ago. Pull up a chair and get cozy by the fire. And let's see what we've got to come out today. So I'm going to take 3 of these are the Moonology Oracle cards. So I'm going to take 3 of these to just give us a little beginning, middle, and end. Usually gives us a steer on the collective's journey, whatever they've been going through. It's usually more about inner growth. Nope. One. Okay, that one. I'll take one more and then I'll read them out. Oops. The first one is the answers you need are coming. Now, I'm not sure if they're coming in this reading, but they're certainly coming. Hang on, I'll just put these away. Right, so we've got the answers you need are... Oh, it's 2 cards. Okay. We've got the answers you need are coming, which is Full Moon in Gemini. I've got an additional bonus card, which is You Are Good Enough, Full Moon in Virgo. I've got 2 full moons. I was only going to take 3 of these, but there's 4. So I've got 2 full moons and 2 new moons, which is interesting because new moon is about kind of rebirth and beginning of a cycle or the end of a cycle. I'm not sure where it is. I'm not sure what is considered the beginning of the lunar cycle. Actually, I didn't think about it. So we've got you and your loved ones are safe, which is new moon in Cancer, and then we've got communication is key, new moon in Gemini. Okay. So kind of where we are. So in the past, you were kind of looking for answers, and apparently they're coming. Where we are just kind of now is you're good enough, and you and your loved ones are safe. So if you've been worried about something, you're okay. And then we've got communication is key is kind of the outro. Okay, so I was going to take one from the happy deck, but I'm not going to because I've got an extra bonus Moonology card. Let's take the 20 these or these. Oops, these ones. Okay. So these are the Oracles of Shadow and Light cards. I need to shuffle them aside because they're too big for me to shovel. Don't get me wrong, I lift weights and I lift heavy weights, but like my hands are like really weak for some reason. To fair use straps for lifting weights, but got the 3 fates. What comes around goes around. Okay. I'll hold these up and actually I should hold that up. So I've got 3 ladies looking there quite sultry. So somebody's getting their comeuppance, so I don't feel like that's your collective. Dress of Alchemy, release your power. Wow. I've got a real wow energy from that. She's sitting in absolute... She's a badass. So maybe you've not been sitting in your... I had this a little bit in the reading yesterday. It's maybe you've just not been quite sitting in your full power. It was Hera and she was going from the reverse to the upright. So this is maybe you sitting in your power now. Absolutely sitting in your power. Because I was right at the back end of the reading yesterday as well, until in terms of the rows. Grandma's was a bit stepping into your power. Oh, this feels like the follow-on chapter. Maybe, in terms of growth. Sorry, I'm making a mess here. Oh. Ghost of Pumpkin Patch, count your blessings. Count your blessings. I'm just going to take 5 of these. I'm not going to do too many. That's the first card in the deck, actually. So we've got 26, 33, and 1. So yeah, just practicing gratitude. which is in the middle. So I think you are grateful for what you have. Carnivorous flower fairy. A tempting offer has a high price. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Let's move this out the way as well. Take one more. So we've got an offer coming in that is maybe something you should turn down. Angel of time, working too hard. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Is that the phrase? That just came into my head. You maybe been spending a little focus, and it's very important to, you know, solidify our foundation, ensure that, you know, our future security is secured. Our future is secured, but you've got to make time for rest as well. That's it. That's it. That wasn't meant to sound a bit preachy. It was just, we all need to make time for play as well as rest. Otherwise, what are we working for? Okay, I've got, these are, actually, no. Yes, I'm going to take these. This is a Mystic Manifesting Oracle deck. I don't keep my cards on my desk because I've got shelves and shelves of them up here, and there's too many to keep on here. So I always lift them out just before each reading, depending on which ones are resonating with me on the day. So I don't know the names of all of them because I've got so many. So on top of what goes around comes around. Real connection, honor your divine essence and seek support from community. I find my spirit tribe. Okay. Well, I do have a feeling with the three fates, you're looking at, it's a very similar theme that comes out, but I do have a feeling that you're looking at past friendships, past connections, past relationships, and realizing that you want something more fulfilling. Maybe you were always the one feeding in, maybe you were overgiving, and now you want something real, reciprocal, where you're equally as valued as opposed to you're valued for how much effort you put in. You know, you should just be valued for just existing. Okay, on top of release your power, we've got wild creation. We've got a woman ice skating here. It's quite cool, actually. Allow energy to flow freely rather than trying to force the outcome. I'm open to surprises. Well, that totally fits in with that release of power card. It's maybe just about, oh, what's it called? Yeah, being in your flow state. So going with the flow and just, yeah, So it's about kind of like accepting, oh, I don't always say life, but it's about the art of detachment, really, is what I'm getting from this, which is letting go of people, places, and things. You can't force someone to want to be your friend. You can't force someone to reciprocate. You can send paragraphs and paragraphs to someone about how they should be treating you, but unless they want to treat you nicely, they will. Otherwise, they're not gonna. And then, you know, telling somebody how, the only way you can enforce boundaries is by removing your energy, putting up boundaries, or removing your presence. And I've just got no energy for people that aren't willing to put in as much as I am. So, okay, goes to the pumpkin patch. This is the middle one, so this is very strongly feeling like, I mean, most of this feels like your energy, actually. I'm not getting anybody else's here. This tempting offer is someone else, but shining wisdom, seek teachings that support you as you manifest your goals. I learn what I need to know. So that's on top of count your blessings. So you're in a real growth mindset. You might not have always been in a growth mindset. I mean, I certainly wasn't when I was younger. It kind of just, I mean, I think I was, but I wouldn't have called it that. I wouldn't have known what to call it. I just knew it was a bit different to everybody else. And I didn't want to sit in pain. I didn't want to sit in wounds. I wanted to kind of move out of them. And the only way you can is by trying to gain wisdom. Okay, so on top of Carnivorous Flower Fairy, which is a tempting offer, has a high price, we've got Seeing the Beauty. Complex patterns align to create great beauty when you see clearly. I visualize the divine plan. So it could be that you've got a test coming in, or you had a test that you had a test, which was this tempting offer has a high price. This is either a lesson that you had or a lesson that's coming up. And it could, since it's visualizing the divine plan, it could be a test. I mean, everything's a test in a way. But I mean, take this as it resonates. If this isn't resonating with you, it's not for you. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Use your discernment. This one, divine protection. Your angels and spirit guides are on call to assist you always. The universe has my back. It's amazing how sitting in that energy of believing, having, your spirit team around you. And believing that the universe has your back and how much strength that gives you. Certainly I know that works for me. And I don't always feel them around me, but I know they're there if I need them. So just be aware you're divinely protected, which is coming out on top of Angel of Time, working too hard, which funnily enough has an angel in it. So there's wings. This is just all about your spirit team here. It's fantastic. Okay. Let's take some from the Life Happens Oracle deck, and then we'll go into the tarot. Okay, so tell me about this. What goes around comes around. Sounds a little bit like cycles as well, actually. Like possibly you've been going around in cycles with people, and you've just learned that no, actually you want to find your soul tribe, your spirit tribe. Say less. Absolutely. There's nothing to say to people that you don't resonate with. You don't often even owe somebody an explanation if you want to remove your energy. I mean, I'm not saying you should just ghost people trying to center either after one meeting. I mean, we can always be polite and nice, but but say less. No is a complete sentence. It doesn't require a 10-page essay. I used to require a 10-page essay whenever I didn't want to have dessert in my mother's house. No wasn't simply accepted because I'm full. How dare I be full? Yes. It's a personal affront. Okay. Why? Okay, so we've got why coming out here. So this is feeding back into this, the answers you need are coming. You've been doing either a lot of soul searching or asking questions about something. About why you had to step into your power, why you're having to go with the flow, why you're having to let go of people, places, and things. It's part of spiritual growth. Oh, we've got heartbroken in reverse. I'm just going to pause this for a sec. Hang on. You don't need to sit and just watch a blank space for a while. It means I need to edit, stitch them together later though. So we've got heartbroken in reverse here. So you've healed your heart. I mean, it's probably from a romantic relationship, but it looks like you've been healing childhood wounds as well. What's that one? Count your blessings. You're really practicing gratitude and kind of, which is the way to do it, because that's the way you bring in abundance. Oopsie, that's too many. Okay, so we've got responsibility and awakening here. So we've got spiritual awakening, which is funnily enough coming out underneath the angel of time and your divine protection. Somebody here in the collective, if not a number of you in the collective, have gone through a spiritual awakening, and you've really connected with your spirit team, or you're feeling feeling divinely protected. On top of this one, which was this a tempting offer has a high price, and I visualize the divine plan, which is heavily tying in with this. Got responsibility. So whatever this tempting offer is, and it's not clear from this reading yet, or the energies I'm getting, it comes with responsibility. I'm just not getting a vibe on what on earth it is. It might be different for each of you. Okay, so this is the Black Violet Tarot. This is one of my favourite decks. Queen of Wands coming out. Hang on, I'll take a few more. Page of Cups. I love these ones. A lot of the decks, I find it really hard for the card. I find it, oopsie, that's too many. I find it really hard for the cards to fly out. They just fly so easily out with these ones. They just work really well for me. Or when they do fly out the other decks, it's like a big clump of them and I have to put them back. Seven of Wands. I'll take one more and then we'll... Oh, there we go. That's it. The Chariot. Okay. Fantastic. So, Queen of Wands. Possible fire sign. Quite a witchy energy. I feel that this is your energy. It's coming out on top of Say Less. Could be a potential fire sign. So, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Got the Page of Cups here as well, coming out on top of Y. Page of Cups is a very young energy. It's not the Knight of Cups, but it's still offering a cup. I think there's a part of self-reflection here, especially I've got the three fates coming out and this Say Less, and you're looking at these past relationships. I think you've really been doing some soul searching as to why they didn't work out. Why when you offered your cup as a page, possibly quite naive or quite young, but Page of Cups is young energy, so this is maybe relationships from your younger years that you've let go or had to move away from. And I think you've been doing a lot of self-reflection on why they didn't work out. And sometimes, you know, you just grow apart and you're different because you're on different timelines. And other times it's there's something kind of toxic about it where you're maybe the one overfeeding, overgiving. Knight of Pentacles is interesting. I mean, the Knight of Pentacles can be about a strategy. It's also about investing for the future in terms of the Knight of Pentacles plants seeds as it goes. He's the slowest moving knight in the deck, but he's the slowest moving because he is planting seeds for the future as he goes. I feel that this is your energy. Again, I feel that this is all your energy. This is all the same person. It's just telling your story or the collective story. Seven of Wands. Defending yourself. What's interesting about this particular Seven of Wands, though, she's standing with one wand over her head and there's six on the ground. Now, the Six of Wands is, why am I having a blank with the Six of Wands? I've got the Six of Swords, the Six of Cups. Why am I having a blank? Hang on. I've got a cheat sheet on the wall that I never use because my brain's just gone absolutely blank. Of course, it's victory. Of course, it's victory. I don't know why I can... It's because the imagery is very different because this is the Seven of Wands. So she's got the Ace of Wands, which is in her hand, and then she's got the Seven of Wands on the ground. So this feels like defending yourself, but having a new beginning or a new creative spark and being victorious about it. So I've got responsibility here on top of this responsibility, and this tempting offer comes with, what was that, high price? How's that? High price, yeah. And then that was the divine plan. Yeah. Okay, and we've got the Chariot. Oh, you are absolutely... So we've got the Chariot coming out on top of the spiritual awakening. You had a quick... I don't know, mine took about a year and it was horrendous grief and trauma coming up. This to me tells me that you went through this quite quickly. It was maybe quite shocking, quite abrupt. Maybe something just jarred you into your kind of an awakening. I'm not sure what did. Perhaps whatever you defended yourself against this. So this tempting offer, I think it's against this tempting offer with a high price. I'm not getting any visualization of what this tempting offer is. If it resonates, you'll know what it was. But whatever it is, it absolutely jarred you into defending yourself and your spiritual awakening. It was a lesson. And I think you knew it was a lesson, or if you don't, you see it as a lesson now. And the thing is when you understand something's a lesson and not just life happening to you, it really makes processing the pain and grief so much better. We've got the High Priestess coming out, which is absolutely fantastic on top of the Queen of Wands. That is some right witchy energy there. You are, whoever this reading is for, if it's resonating with you, you are really quite spiritually connected. And I think you know it, which is probably possibly why you're here anyway. But yeah, you are absolutely tuned into your intuition. And because you've woken up, I think this is why we've got this why here, and why you're looking at the three fates very, very differently, which is these past relationships, what goes around, and you're saying less because you're just following your intuition with connections and relationships now, and you're just letting go of what no longer serves you. And which is why you're looking for your spirit team, your spirit tribe or your soul tribe. Okay, we've got 10 of Cups and the Knight of Swords coming out. Again, this is all your energy. There's nobody else's energy on here. I mean, there's hints at other people, this one and this one here, but it's all yours, which is fantastic. Knight of Swords. So, okay, so we've got the Knight of Swords on top of the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck, and Knight of Swords is the fastest, coming in with communication. So I think you were moving really, really slowly for a long time, possibly recovering from this heartbreak. It's heartbroken in reverse, so you've healed your heart. And now you're ready just to charge forward. And the thing is this why, this question, this inner work that you've done as to why when you offered your cup of love, whether that's into family, friendship, romantic relationships, why it wasn't leading to anything. Doing that inner work, listening to your intuition is what will bring you your 10 of Cups. If you're not already in your 10 of Cups, it's what will bring you your 10 of Cups, which is, I was going to say ultimate happiness. It's just your wish fulfillment, I suppose. I sound so confident, don't I? I'm tired. The words aren't. King of Wands. Well, fan-bloomin-tastic. Okay, so we've got a counterpart here. So the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Now, I did take the Seven of Wands as more like the Ace of Wands and the Six, which was you're defending yourself, or you've defended yourself against whatever this tempting offer was. But you're having this Ace of Wands, which can be a passionate new beginning, and the Six of Wands, which is victory. And again, this King of Wands is holding a wand up, and so is the Queen of Wands, actually. He's holding the Ace of Wands up as well. I'm getting a real passionate new beginning. It could be two fire signs, again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Could just be someone in their kind of fiery King of Wands energy, kind of passionate action taker. Queen of Wands can be quite witchy, fiery as well. Just, oh, and then we've got the Six of Wands, victory, again, on top of the Chariot. You're absolutely sailing high. So whatever it is you get through you move on from your spiritual awakening. That doesn't mean you're not still in growth mindset and you're not continually growing and reflecting on the past. You're definitely, this is a victory for you. Whatever you went through, whatever this healing, whatever this test, this lesson was, that's Luna off marking again. Sorry if you can hear that. You definitely, you were victorious. You made the right choice, whatever that was. And if you did get caught up with it for a little while, don't feel bad about it. You were supposed to learn your lesson, whatever your lesson was. Luna, shush now, darling. Sorry, guys. I've already had to pause this one, so I'm not going to pause it again. Five of Cups. Oh, that's interesting. So there's 3 cups spilled in this one. It's not always 3 cups, but there's a hand come out of the water and grabbing this girl's hair, which is interesting. Which kind of looks really grief-stricken. Which is interesting because it's on top of the High Priestess and the Queen of Wands. Whatever these connections were that you moved away from because you really, really wanted real connection with others, and you just started saying less. I mean, that's what I often do. I often just go quiet and watch and slowly detach and then just disappear. Yes, I'm not dismissive, avoidant at all. This Five of Cups, it wasn't easy. It came with sadness and regret, essentially. Okay, well, we're taking that one. Page of Wands. Okay. So we've got the Ten of Cups sandwich between the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands. Page of Wands again is quite a young energy. Can be quite, again, quite fiery because Wands are fire. Quite creative. So I think there was a little bit about, I think this is kind of, especially because we've got two knights here as well. I've got 2 pages and 2 knights. I do feel that, you know, there was that self-reflection as to why whenever you offered your couple love, whoever, just doesn't need to be romantic, that never really worked out, but there was possibly as to why it was kind of maybe suppressing your creative spark as well, and why you weren't getting your 10 of Cups. And it's because it was the wrong people. They weren't your soul tribe, they weren't your spirit tribe. I mean, it says spirit tribe on that one. I would generally call them soul tribe, but yeah. Maybe it's because you hadn't actually spiritually awoken yet and connected with your spirit team. Mine are locked and loaded. Oh, 2 of Cups right in the middle. On top of the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. That is fantastic. Which is funnily enough because we've got the King of Wands right in the next one. King of Wands, 2 of Cups doesn't have to be romantic. We've got 2 people here and they're holding hands. So I'm getting a real lover's vibe from this card. I don't think, oh no, I have the High Priestess. That's the only major arcana that's come out. Oh, this is the Tarot of the Divine. Page of Swords. So the Page of Cups, Page of Wands, and Page of Swords now. So this King of Wands, there's no lack of, I was going to say there's no lack of clarity. There's a better way to say that, which doesn't have a double negative. You see this person clearly. There's no games, there's no fuss, there's no, they're not this lesson, this is someone else. You see them clearly, and there's no games. Like, there's no mind games with this person. Well, let's see how the cards go, but that is definitely the energy I'm getting from this King of Wands. It's a good energy. Seven of Wands again. Which is interesting because the 7 of Wands, I've got the Ace and the 6 from it. I've got the 6 of Wands, then the 7 of Wands on top of the Chariot. Again, I'm getting a real sense of healthy boundaries from this card. Like, I think you both, if this is a romantic interest or just a counterpart coming in, whether that's a friend or romantic. Excuse me, I've got something in my eye. I've got a tiny little hair. I apologise. Right, there we go. I think I got it that time. It was like one of those tiny wee fuzzy dog. She's a German Shepherd, so she's shedding right now, and her little floofy undercoat is everywhere. I'm getting a real sense of healthy boundaries here. Oh, maybe this 7 of Wands was more about healthy boundaries, because we then did the King of Wands. So this person, you both have healthy boundaries as well. If this is your counterpart coming in, you both have healthy boundaries. You both see each other clearly. There's no, it's quite a young, fresh energy because it's a Page of Swords, but there's just honesty and integrity there. There's no deceit. There's no nothing. There's no games, is what I'm trying to say. It's smooth sailing. 7 of Pentacles. Top of this 5 of Cups. Okay. So the 7 of Pentacles is about investing. It's a little bit, so the 6 is, well, the 7's about investing, 8's about kind of expansion into, you know, mastering your craft and starting to reap your abundance. 9 is about independent wealth. 10 is generational wealth. Okay, we've got the Lovers coming out, Gemini. Okay, so whoever this King of Wands is, if you haven't met them yet, you do want to, because this is coming out, you've got the 10 of Cups here. You do want to, it's Gemini energy as well. Sorry, my brain just seems to have gone to reverse. I do apologise. You do really, it's a beautiful card as well. It's a bit, I think it's Beauty and the Beast actually. Beast is huge in this one. Coming out next to the Seven of Pentacles, you want to invest in this. You both do, because it's equally balanced, it's equally yoked. You see each other clearly, there's no games. Your counterparts, it just works. It just works, which is why I've got the Ten of Cups here. Oops, okay. Okay. We've got the World in reverse. Now, it would have come, I think it would have come out in the upright if I hadn't fallen into my lap. So the World in the upright is about ending cycles, victory over ending cycles. In the reverse, it's almost like you don't want to repeat a cycle with this person. And that doesn't mean you don't want to have a relationship with them. It just means you don't want to make the same mistakes over and over again. But you don't want to end a cycle with them either, because I think whatever it is very different, and you know it's very different, and you want to keep going. Which is a really, I would normally take the World in reverse as a negative, in a positive way, but it feels really positive in this reading. Just like, nope, we're not going to end this, we're going to keep going. Six of Swords, move into calmer waters. Absolutely fantastic. That's lovely. Okay, give me one last card. King of Pentacles. Okay, so it looks like you guys are going to move to calmer waters and be really abundant together, essentially. Wow, don't normally do one with kind of, okay, I never usually get a new counterpart coming in. Okay, anything else you want to tell me? This is the Marchetti Tarot. That one. Queen of Pentacles. Oh, so King of Coins, Queen of Coins, and they're actually both called coins in these decks as well. So we've got counterparts again. So not only are you matched as counterparts in Wands, you're matched in counterparts in Pentacles as well, which is abundance, which is fantastic. Oh gosh, one after the other coming out there. We'll just take one more then and then we'll finish. Oops, that's too many. That's too many. So we've got the Ace of Wands coming out again. Excellent. Nine of Wands. Okay. Is that the Two of Cups? Again? Oh, Three of Cups. Let me just check that one. I can't see what it is. And then one more. Final one, please. Just one. That one. Ace of Pentacles. Fantastic. Okay. So we've got the Ace of Wands coming out, which again is really, really good, because we had the Page of Wands here as well, which is like it's a passionate new beginning, which is fantastic. Which is coming out on top of the Lovers, which is lovely. Then with the Nine of Wands, which is, you might, especially because we've got the not repeating cycles or not ending cycles. You're not going to end a cycle with this person. So it sounds like, you know, you're both in it to, I was going to say in it to win it, but you're both in it for the long haul. You're both the Wounded Warrior here, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. You're still standing. Your heart's still beating. You healed your heart, because we've got Heartbroken Reverse here. Then we've got the Three of Cups, which is fantastic. Celebration, party. Friends. And then we've got the Ace of Pentacles on top of the King of Pentacles. So it's about planting seeds together, planting that new beginning together. That's lovely. That's a really nice wee reading. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these. So this is the Roses in Love Oracle deck. So if you've not met this King of Wands yet, I get the feeling you've not met this King of Wands yet. If you have, then this will be resonating with you in terms of how this relationship plays out compared to other ones. What would this King of Wands stroke King of Pentacles say to the Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, or vice versa? Take the gender as it resonates. I'm trying to become the best version of myself for you. So someone's working on themselves, and I think you're equally working on yourself. It's just falling out in the Heartbroken Reverse there. So healing going on. This isn't someone who's going to say, I'm not ready for a relationship. Can we just be casual? I lost sight of what was important in our connection. be you, this one, in terms of these past connections that I was talking about here, because you really, really wanted real connection. I think you shed a lot of friendships, relationships that just you weren't sure why you were there anymore. I'm keeping my distance to protect you and your energy. So you might know this person, but they might not. They might have, after just had a sarcastic go at not being ready for a relationship. Maybe they weren't, but maybe you were just happy doing your thing. I don't know. Take that as it resonates. Grab a couple more and then we'll call it quits there. I'm a mess right now. Okay, they're not great right now. Nope, it's not that one. So this is definitely something that's happening in the future. Oh, I'm disappointed in myself for letting you down. Okay, this might be someone you know, and maybe someone you had a dalliance with in the past, but maybe for whatever reason the timing wasn't right. Again, take it as it resonates. So I'm going to take one more now. I'm with them because I couldn't have you. I'm coming in to show you a better version of me. So this says that maybe you had a dalliance with somebody in the past that didn't work out for whatever reason because the timing wasn't quite right, or there was somebody else involved. And sounds like they're a mess, they're broken up, and they want to come in and give it a go. So that's kind of up to you. I mean, the cards say it looks quite nice, but you know, take it as it resonates. I'm not an advocate of going back to the past, having been burnt, but you know, don't let me sway you. Anyway, if you're returning, I've said this already, but if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. Thank you so much for anyone who likes and comments. It really helps me kind of just get my videos out there rather than talking to the void. I hope you have a lovely, lovely weekend, and I'll be back soon. Okay, bye-bye.